Receipts.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. We are finally at the Love is Blind Season 10 premiere day. So exciting. We're a little annoyed because if you caught our little tea spill spoilers episode, obviously, all of our spoilers were correct when it comes to the engaged couples, but our tea spiller got a little confused on the love triangle.
Yeah, a little. So if you've watched the first two episodes, obviously this recap is going to be the first two episodes only because 6 episodes dropped, and we want to make sure that we get into the nitty gritty. Sometimes when you recap as a whole, you forget what happens in the earlier episodes. But our little tea spiller told us that there was a love triangle between Kevan, Dynasty, and Tyler, and it's actually Kia, Kevan, and Tyler. So clearly, they think all black people look like, okay? Just because they both beautiful black women with a fucking 20-inch bust down don't mean that they're the same fucking person. I don't, you guys know some people just relate stuff very differently than other people. Like, yeah, we will say that. Like we said, we have a tea spiller, you know, 99.9% of the time is right. We don't like to watch for ourselves because then we ruin our recaps, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, little oopsie. Not that I think it's like a big deal, but
Yeah, it is very confusing though. I don't know how anyone could confuse that because, in this whole love triangle that we see, like a main part of episode 2, Dynasty is never mentioned. Like she's not in this.
You know what? This is the issue though with spoilers before a season airs, because from a picture, all you're seeing is a blonde, a brunette. There's no emotion connected to these people. There's no storyline associated with them. That's why Ashley and I typically give our spoilers mid-season when we've connected with these people, when we have an emotion attached to them, when we know who they are, when we know their names. In this season specifically, we're dealing with a lot of characters. We're dealing with a lot of personalities, not just your typical 5 men, 5 women. So, I mean, I think part of that confusion was before the episodes aired, you know?
Well, and part of me is wondering if our tea spiller just knows something we don't, and maybe Dynasty was in fact a part of this because at one point Kevan, is it Kevan? I know they jokingly called him Kevan.
Kevan? I think it's Kevan. Yeah, that's what they keep calling him.
Okay, I didn't know if they were just... He did say, like, I have other connections. He wasn't like, I have one other strong one. He said connection. So maybe at some point Dynasty was involved in this. We never saw her connections. We don't know who she talked to. So maybe that's where the mistake came from, not realizing which one, like, Kevan went farther with, who stayed in it longer. We're going to have to reconvene with our tea spiller to find out how Dynasty got mixed up in this triangle, because we at least didn't see it. So unless it was edited out, we don't know where they got that from. So
yeah, but what we do see is Tyler, Kevan, and Kia, which we will get into, but let's so much has happened in these first 2 episodes. So much, a bunch of nothing and a bunch of something. So I mean, so let's just guess dive into it all.
Should we also mention the 2 other small things? Because apparently our tea spiller likes to zhuzh it up a little bit, because obviously they're relaying things to us and we haven't seen with our own eyeballs. So the way they might see things happen is a little different than the way we might see things happen. So in these first 2 episodes, we did say somebody says they don't have a job. And now Jordan had said, I haven't found my path professionally.
That means you don't have a fucking job. I'm sorry. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, and I was just going to get into that once we talked about Jordan. But like, saying I have not found my path professionally is saying I don't have a job in cursive. Like, okay. Like, like that's just like when they call themselves a transportation logistics expert and it's like they're an Uber driver. Like, it's a fancy way of saying I don't have a job, I don't have any money, I don't have a career. Like, I think I think that one's fair. I think that one's fair.
It is fair. I just wanted to say it now in case once we get in our recap, we forget that the funny things that the tea spiller had zhuzhed up a little. Because the other thing, which we'll get to, was the eye glue, which I feel like is same.
Same.
They said
Yeah.
glue the eye shut, she put glue in the eye,
Yeah,
same
that's the
thing,
same
right?
thing. Yeah,
But yeah,
same
so
thing.
all our facts are correct, it's just, maybe the
How
interpretation
yeah, the interpretation can be a little,
spicy.
spicy. Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
put a
yeah.
little salt on it, so
Yeah, but I think, the major points are there. So,
yeah.
Nick Lachey is very happy that it's from Ohio. They got a little
Mhm.
song and everything. They just walked in, "O-H." They're like, "I-O." Does it make me wanna go there? No.
No, I think we talked about this when we mentioned it was gonna be Ohio. I said Nick Lachey is gonna love this. He's always talking about being from Cincinnati, so I knew that he was gonna make a big deal out of it. I don't know if this
Mm,
is the last we'll see him make a big deal of it. Did you notice right when they walked in, Vanessa, like right off the bat, was very teary-eyed? Like she
no.
does eventually get teary-eyed from something somebody says. It might have been Emma, but right off the bat, I noticed like tears. So maybe they had to refilm some things. I don't know, but
Yeah, maybe I didn't
she looked a
notice it
little
though.
sad.
I don't know. Only thing I noticed was her dress. Like I was like, okay, I
Yeah,
like
she
her. I
looked good.
really like her dress. Her
Mhm.
boobs are like looking real good. Her body's looking great. But I noticed her dress because I was like, oh, that's a nice dress. Wonder where she got that. You know?
Well, and I do wonder, like, obviously there's rumors a lot with them that there's marital troubles and lots of people get divorced. It's very common, but they obviously are tied to the show as a couple so strongly, like as the host. What would happen if they split up, or what if they are having issues behind the scenes? I'm not heard anything. I'm just saying how that professionally, I feel like they would have to keep that under wraps, right?
Yeah. For
So I
until it's
just
the right time to announce it for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if they would say something happened with them. Would they continue to be hosts, or at some point are they going to step away from it because they've been doing it? I mean, it's only been 5 years, so it's not that long. But
Yeah, but I honestly, I don't know. Like I don't know how much longer this show can realistically keep going
mhm,
with what's happening just behind the scenes and with people not really going for the most genuine reasons. I mean
yeah,
so far so good. Like we've only had one season where there's no marriage, but
yeah,
something tells me that's not going to be the last season that we have no
mm-mm.
marriages, you know? And if
And
that keeps happening, then essentially the show's done, you know?
mhm. do you did you notice that it goes by city now instead of season on the Netflix drop down? Is that new, or has it always done that?
I I don't think that I've noticed.
Yeah, now it goes. It lists every city. It used to just say season 1, season 2, season 3, and now I
Oh, okay,
noticed when
yeah,
this
that's
popped
new
up.
then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Ohio. So I think they obviously are intending for it to go a lot longer, and it does start to sound silly, like season 15, season 22, like, I'm sure I think they're trying to get away from the numbers because it said Ohio. So I don't know if
Okay.
going forward, they're just gonna call it by the state, city, whatever they're gonna do now,
However
so
they're gonna do it, yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, maybe. I didn't even notice, that's a good observation. Okay, so let's get into it. So, obviously, in episode 1, the first thing that I noticed, girl, was Jordan and Amber, right? And I think that because we have spoilers and we know who's gonna get engaged, I mean, they do this every season, right? Where they start out off the bat, like, showing you the couples that are, like, typically going to get together, and I couldn't
mhm,
help but notice that in one of Jordan and Amber's first scenes, they're like talking and he starts taking notes like in his notebook as soon as she started talking about like not needing the hottest girl, like
yeah,
the hottest guy in the world, and like she doesn't care if someone's broke, and like
mhm,
started talking about cooking and stuff. He started like his little pen started moving, and I'm like,
mhm.
red
He's like, "This is the one."
flag. Red flag. You're talking about, yeah, I don't care if someone's broken. They don't have to be the finest thing, the skinniest thing. He's like,
Yeah,
bing, got her. I
yeah.
don't know. That's just what I noticed.
Uh-huh, and for him to say later, like, his deal breaker was, someone with a child, I don't understand that. It seems like people get in these pods and the deal breakers go out the window, and
Mm,
eventually we will end up seeing that they end up being a problem usually, sometimes not, though, so I saw a few of these couples
yep.
clearly with
Same.
major deal breakers,
Same.
being like,
Mhm.
"That's the one for me," and you're like, "What about" you already can't see them, so it's not like the physical attraction will get over these other speed bumps, you're just adding more potential issues to not attracted either, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's
that's the
risky.
thing is I say it all the time is that is the problem in dating is that people date past their deal breakers. A deal
Mhm,
breaker is a deal breaker for a reason and you break it off the minute you realize that there is a deal breaker because typically it happens very early on before you've
mhm.
formed an emotional connection. Once you've formed an emotional connection, it gets easier and easier to look past those deal breakers or convince yourself that it's not a deal breaker or to convince yourself it doesn't matter. So on day 1, she told him, "I have a kid."
Mhm.
That should have been it. He should have never went on another date with her, but then again, he's starting writing down, "Oh, she doesn't need the hottest person in the world, the skinniest person, the one with the most money." She's talking about she cooking and, then you start, "Oh, this might actually fit." So then you start ignoring those deal breakers, but
Yeah, it seems like potential disaster, but I guess that is the whole point of the show too, is to go for something you wouldn't normally go for and be pleasantly surprised, and then it all works out. So sometimes that happens, but usually it's the other way. So we'll see how
right.
it goes for them. So we see Victor and Christine
Mm,
obsessed with them. They both just seem so mature and so on the same page. It's like they
yeah,
both will have all like the same morals
morals.
and things that they want, and they both seem great. So
Mm.
obviously, we can only judge so much off of a TV show, but their edit is amazing, and they do genuinely seem amazing. Are
Yeah,
you liking
I
them?
I like them. Yeah, I feel like I wrote down here my first note when I seen Victor and Christine is that Victor's very good looking.
Yes.
He's very good looking. I feel like we didn't see a lot of them. Obviously, we know by the time we get to but at the end of episode 1, we know what happened. So I feel like we didn't get a lot of their story. It seemed like they had a
Hmm.
lot that they cut out, which I get it. We can't see everything. But I feel like we got very minimal of them. So we're getting an introduction a slight introduction
Hmm.
to them in episode 1. I think that they're cute. They both seem to be there for the right reasons. They both seem to be very mature, ready for marriage. Really what the experiment is about, like 2 people that are genuinely looking for their
Hmm.
forever partner. So, but who knows, child? They be fool a bitch. But I've heard very good things about Victor, so I have high hopes. My bad for talking about your skinny jeans.
Well, it is confusing, right? Because they do seem very strong and very great. Obviously, we know they get engaged from these 2 episodes, and
Actually, did you get the beautiful laundry sauce package that I sent you in the mail?
I sure did, and I cannot thank you enough. You sent me the Italian bergamot scent, and I have never had so many compliments on a scent before. My husband loves it, my kids love it, my friends love it. It's really infused my laundry with high-end fragrance, it fights stains, and it's elevated my laundry to 5-star status. It used to be such a dread doing laundry, and it's now my favorite day of the week because of laundry sauce.
Girl math, all we need is a cute box and cute packaging, and all of a sudden we love doing laundry. My favorite part about laundry sauce is that they have a money back guarantee. So if you are not satisfied with the smell or the cleanliness, you literally get your money back. I personally recommend subscribing to the signature package because you get detergent pods, scent boosters, dryer sheets, and more. It's a really good bang for your buck. And again, money back guarantee. So really, you have nothing to lose.
I saw that they have a Himalayan cashmere scent and Australian sandalwood, so I'm definitely going to add those to the list of different scents that I want to try. For a limited time only, our listeners get 20% off your entire order when you use code receipts at laundrysauce.com. That's 20% off at laundrysauce.com with promo code receipts. That's RECEIPTS. After you check out, they'll ask where you heard about them. Don't forget to drop our name, Reality Receipts Podcast. Trust us, your laundry has never smelled this good. Okay, I told you guys I was away all weekend at a hockey tournament, eating out, getting takeout, and the thing I was most excited to get home to was my beautiful Hello Fresh box waiting on my front step for me. I am so excited to bring everyone together this week with meals that are simple and rewarding on our busy weeknights.
You guys know how we feel about HelloFresh over here. We absolutely love it. It's so convenient and delicious. You can choose from more than 35 high protein recipes each week, including new Mediterranean and GLP-1 friendly options. There's now 3 times more seafood for no upcharge. You can literally impress guests or treat yourself with new grass-fed steak ribeyes. We love HelloFresh.
Because when dinner tastes this good, nothing hits like home cooking. Go to HelloFresh.com/RR10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free zwilling knife at $144.99 value on your third box. Offer valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan.
Like they're that first couple, the Allie and Anton, the
Yeah.
fucking, the couple that they pick every season. That first engaged couple, Brennan and Alexa,
Mhm. Yeah, I do. So obviously, like you said, they're not showing a lot of them, which can be great or concerning because I feel like that's what happened last season with Allie and Anton. We didn't see much. They got engaged right away. And then once we got out in the real world, like it was clear they were both kind of faking it. There wasn't much there for them to show us. And it's just a little odd that if this is going to be like your golden couple, why you're not showing them more, right? Getting us more attached. But maybe they feel like later on that's what'll happen. Maybe they're just so great that the pods were really boring because it was just, the other stuff we're getting shown is obviously a bit more dramatic, more conflict, more like red flags, and they're just so good that they didn't want to waste. They know we don't like to see too much of the love. We like it there, but we also want to see drama. So maybe they just didn't have a lot to show to
Yeah,
us.
they don't give that they have drama. I actually
No.
really liked how they did it in the sense of because I noticed like in episode 1, they're like already on a dinner date or like having like a little romantic date. And I thought, oh,
Mhm.
wow, like that's soon. Like you don't really see that till like a couple days in. And by the way this is filmed, it's like it looks like they're still on like day 1 or day 2, and they're like having this romantic dinner. But I do like that they had I like the edit of them going back and showing us some of their
Yeah.
date moments, just like, in a nutshell. Like I like
Mhm.
that because then you could kind of see, okay, that's where the connection is coming from. Sometimes when they get engaged on episode 1, it's like this is too soon. Like, what kind of
Mhm.
connection could they have formed? So I am happy that they showed that,
Yeah. Well,
with it.
because those dates probably are a lot longer. They're not showing it to us the way it's filmed. Like all
Right, I
the
know.
engagements happen on the same day.
Hmm.
So they're showing it to us in episode 1, but it was the same amount of time. So those dates probably aren't on the first day, even though it just feels that way to us. But
Yeah.
everything, they do all that stuff on the same days. But yeah, the way they show it to us, it kind of looks like some people spend a lot less time together. And then some people we see like so much of,
Yeah.
which is weird.
That first couple that gets engaged is always at a disadvantage because we know we're not going to see them again for episodes to come, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like by the time we
Yeah.
see them again, we kind of forget about them. So,
Yeah. Maybe they feel like they get more screen time later on. We don't know what's going to happen with all these other couples, so maybe they're just saving it for
right.
later
And
because
and the airtime's like it's they got to spare it because we have
yeah.
7 engaged couples this season, so it's like we've got to get in where we fit in here. So I guess that's
Mhm.
the rose and the thorn of having
So many
multiple, yeah,
people.
so many engagements, yeah.
Mhm. So we see a little bit of Jessica and Chris, and she talks about how she's an infectious disease doctor, and through COVID, she ended up getting a divorce. She didn't really give too many details,
Mm,
just that they had different ideas, I guess, of marriage. So,
mm.
what did you think of them so far?
I honestly not much. What I
No.
have written down here is that she's our one of our 39-year-old. I just remember in the Love is Blind photos, she didn't she looks a lot younger on screen is what I wrote down, and that her dress still is awful. Yeah. Hmm.
But nothing about
I,
the talk.
I don't, yeah, nothing about the talk.
Okay, it wasn't.
Yeah,
I
like, I
mean,
didn't think it was much. I mean, I'm not shocked that she's been divorced.
mhm.
A lot of people at 39 have been divorced, that's why they say, if you're not married by the time you're 35, 40, you've just missed your first divorce. Like,
Yeah,
it's just terrible.
catch
But
it on the second round.
yeah, catch him on the second round. I didn't think much of it, honestly. I was like, okay. What I did notice was that okay, she kind of said her job, and he didn't say his, and like maybe they cut that out though,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, I forget what he was off of the description photos. You remember? I think one of the
mm,
sales
account
account
something,
guys.
okay,
Yeah.
I don't know, something probably. Yeah, I don't remember, but
Yeah, I wonder how that would work in a marriage. Like, say, obviously, a doctor has very crazy hours, devotes a lot of time to their career. And if you marry someone whose job is not as demanding and then you have kids, like, how does that split work? Like, you obviously would have to have a man who's willing to step up and do a little more around the house and with the kids. And I don't know if Chris gives me that, but we'll find out, I guess.
we will find out, I guess. I don't know. I'm just like, if I've got a demanding job, I don't need you to I need you to have a demanding job too, and then
Yeah.
we'll just figure it out. I don't need you being a stay-at-home mom, okay? Like you need
No.
to step it up, bro. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. They don't seem equally yoked to me.
Hmm.
I don't see this being a pair, but again, we didn't see much of them in episode 2. We just got this little glimpse, but I'm sure we're going to be seeing more of them in episode 3 and 4, 5 and 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we see like a little, sort of like a little triangle going on with Breezy, like that's her nickname. That's kind of
Mm,
giving Sparkle Megan a little bit, but
mhm. Mhm.
Breezy and Connor and Emma, like, what did you think of them? Not much. Yeah.
There was a yeah, not much yet, right? Like there's like a Bree. I wrote down Bree, Chris, and Connor. So there was so is
Yeah.
Bree is also talking to Connor. She's also talking to Chris, and then we see Connor's also talking to Emma.
And,
There's not much there yet. I feel like in the other episodes we're gonna see more of that because they set that up for a reason. In
mhm,
episode 1, they're just kind of showing us like Brie is also talking to Chris. She's also talking to Connor, which is, something that we've been missing is that, some of those triangles within engaged
mhm.
couples. We've been saying we want that, we want to see that. So I feel like we're building up to that. So
Yes, that I like that because I feel like
yeah.
usually
Same.
when we watch, they go on this vacation and pretend that they didn't know these other people for however many days and like basically almost get engaged to them. And so I hope they're gonna address that a little bit more, especially if these people aren't even gonna end up getting married. Like give us the mess then. If you know you're not gonna marry this person, flirt it up with your other connection.
Float
But
it up. Give us a little
but they
something.
know we as an audience can be pretty hard on that, like, with the whole remember back with Kwame and
Uh, you know
Micah,
what?
it didn't go well for them.
We've evolved though. I think that as an audience, very little surprises us, and some things that
Mhm,
used to just be a big deal back in the day are not a big deal anymore. Like I know people
mhm.
were on Micah's asshole for flirting with Kwame, and it was like it wasn't. She really didn't like, but it's like she really didn't that much. Like I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna fuss regardless, right? So give us
Mhm.
a show. Give us a show. But I feel like very little surprises us anymore. Now we're just like,
Eh,
give us what you got. Give us your best
yeah.
shot.
Go for it. Like, people are gonna complain about anything. I've already seen people being negative about Emma and being like, "Oh, she's insecure," and it's like, you can never have everybody like you and never do it perfectly, which we've seen too much of the last couple of seasons, like with Ali and Anton and Ben and Sarah, of people who just we don't see anything really. They're just trying to keep it cute on camera, not say the wrong thing. We're not getting any of their true opinions or how they feel, and we need if people are gonna complain anyways, just be genuine, and you'll find your audience.
Yeah.
What's her name from last season? Casey, I saw she's on a red carpet the other day. No matter what you do, you'll be okay. So just go for it.
Yeah. One thing that I did notice about Connor is that he is well, at least in episode 1, he's our
Mhm,
fake tell all the women the same thing guy, because he's the one that was like I don't know, just when he was talking to, I think it was Bree or Breezy. Oh my
mhm.
god, I love skiing. Oh my god, I love this. Oh my god, I love
Oh,
this. Oh my god, I gave you 5 gold stars. Oh my god, let's get married. And then he like went and told Emma the exact same thing. I gave you three
mhm,
stars. I gave you 2 stars. I gave you 1 star. Okay, bitch. Like, are we in preschool? I don't need a gold star. I don't
mm,
like it was weird. He was doing the whole telling girls the same thing,
Mhm.
saying the
He
same
just
thing,
wants to get picked.
yeah, he was doing the Sparky Pilastri, okay? He was giving the pedaling the same routine up and down the pods. Whoever's gonna pick me's gonna pick me. And
Yes.
he sells dumpsters, okay? He
Yeah.
sells dumpsters.
Yeah,
What did
he
I
was
need to see? I need to go back to the job list and see what he had listed because he did not have dumpster seller on there for sure.
no,
He
he
didn't. And
didn't.
that's why we
He
say they embellish these freaking titles.
Yeah, he definitely never this is the first time hearing about dumpsters from anybody on the cast, so
Yeah.
wait, which guy said he cold plunges too? Is that a red flag? Because I feel like that's a red flag. I think
I
that was
must have missed
Chris.
that. Oh, maybe it was Chris that says he cold plunges. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I just
who cold plunges, you know?
I
It's
feel like it's a
just
bad sign. If they want to, like, torture themselves every morning, they're probably gonna torture you too at some point, right? I feel
I
like
feel
it's
like cold
correlate.
plunging has some benefits. I'm not trying to find out what they are. But if you cold plunge and you enjoy it, please tell us why in the comments. I can't find how that would be joyous. Remember, there was a girl on Married at First Sight that cold plunge, and she was an absolute
Yeah.
nut. So
Yeah,
there's
she
that.
was. She was, and that guy, he escaped, thankfully, but okay, Connor's job was listed as account management.
See,
No no
lies.
dumpster.
Account account. That's like when you don't have a job. Jordan's job is listed as account executive. So it's like
Mhm.
when you don't really have a job, you just say account. Like sells dumpsters. It should have said trash can seller. Like you know what I mean?
Oscar the
Dumpster
Grouch.
diver. Like you know what I mean? Like it should have said that. Like you sell dumpsters. So why
Yeah.
didn't it say that? Anywho, um
Oh, and he's the one that said ride or die, so that
Oh,
was
yeah,
a red
yes.
flag.
I
Mhm.
do I have that right? Yes, he
Oh,
said it
I'm
in there,
reading it off
looking to
of
he said it on screen too.
Oh,
He
did
said
he?
it on yep,
Oh,
I
okay.
wrote it down. Looking to find my ride or die is a red flag. That means you wanna put a bitch through hell and back and you still want her to be there.
Mhm.
No.
No. Oh, and Chris's job, account executive, so he didn't go into detail on that, so
No, he may have. It may have been cut,
yeah, that's true. Probably
but
something boring.
yes.
So,
So, we see
we see
Steven.
Oh, yes, yes.
We see
Steven.
Steven. We see Steven make an introduction in episode 1 with Emma. So I feel like we see him later on more, but in order of events, we see him. They're having this conversation.
Mhm.
He already comes off very creepy to me, very weird, very strange in
Yes.
the first conversation where he's
It's
talking
his
about
vibe.
yeah, like he's talking about having a good example of love growing up, that he's seen a lot of love and there's all these special love stories and his grandparents have a special love story and he saw love
Mhm.
his whole life. Red
Yeah.
flag. No, I'm just kidding. Like,
No, I
yeah,
mean
like a fucking red flag. Like I don't know what to say. Like it's just I think when we see the second conversation with him and
yeah.
Emma later is just very clear that something's off, something's weird. Um,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
just ugh. But yeah, we do see him and Emma start forming somewhat of a
Mhm.
connection in episode 1.
Yeah. And she talks to Mike as well, and they have that he basically brings up how much he wants babies right away. And she's
Mm.
saying she doesn't. And so
Mhm. Mhm.
that should just be it right there, but it's not for some reason, right? Like it's clear that's a dream he's not going to give up on. And she maybe doesn't seem as sure that she doesn't want kids. She's kind of on the fence. It seems like she's definitely sure she doesn't want biological children. So maybe that's something they could come to an agreement on, but just doesn't feel right off the bat like that's going to be a good idea, right?
Yeah.
No.
Again, dating past your deal breakers.
Yeah. Not
You
a good
know, like
idea.
exactly. And it's so easy to just cut that off during your first meeting, during your first session. Like I mean, I would hope that that wasn't like a day one conversation, but you never know with how this is edited. But yeah, it seemed like right off the bat, like everyone's going into like what they want as far as kids and stuff. And she said she's not at 100% yes, but it's not like absolutely a no. But again, I think that if it's 100% yes for you, then that's a deal breaker. You should just,
Yeah.
you know,
Especially when you just don't even know this person and there is so many people you could align with on that. Like it's just no point in adding that extra stress in, but then we see Alex and Ashley, and I think they're having, like, a bit of a sex talk, and I do know in the past we've been like, "These people only talk about sex, they clearly aren't a match," but they do have, like, a whole sex day. I don't know which day it is, but one of the days, that's what they have to talk about, and so
Yeah.
sometimes I think they just edit it a little shady to only let us see that of some couple, so
Yeah,
you're like,
I
"What's
think so
happening?"
because I wrote here for sure. First of all, him wanting hints on what she looks like is a red flag. That's always a red
Yeah.
flag. Um, and I thought it was interesting that he tried to call dirty talk feedback.
Yeah.
I think that was a nice, like, respectful way of trying to say it. But
Uh-huh.
again, when we're seeing it so early on in episode 1, we know that they
Mhm.
have a sex day, right? It's not day 1 that
Mhm.
they have a sex day, so
No.
it is definitely very trifling of Netflix to show us this sex talk, this specific couple's sex talk only. They didn't show us anybody else's sex talk. This
No.
early in day 1 seems off-putting. It seems
Yeah.
bizarre, it seems out of place, it seems I literally wrote early for sex talk, and to the
Yeah.
point where she said she goes back to the girl lounge and she's like, "I need to freshen up downtown." Like, "Girl, what? Girl,
I
what?"
know.
Like,
Well,
okay, that's too much too fast. You know what happened to the girl that did too much too fast?
but you know what? I think that was shady editing too, because she's like, "I'm so sweaty, I need to go freshen up downtown." She probably could have said that at any point, and they put that right after the sex talk to make it sound like that's what she was freshening up. I think it was just what's the word? When people are, like,
Sabotage? No, I'm
sweaty.
just
No,
kidding. Oh.
she has some kind of sweating issue. I not that they just edited it funny, I think, but either
I
way,
think
she
so,
still
I think
said
so.
it. She still said
I think
it.
so. I think you're right, they did, but I did think, "Okay, it's really early for this. We don't even know these people yet. It's seemingly
Yeah.
their very first conversation. This is their first conversation, and this is what's coming up." But he's like, "I like feedback." I thought that was so funny, and that's such a respectful way to say you have a praise kink or you like dirty
Mhm.
talk. Like, "I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
feedback."
He's keeping it classy for TV. Do you think
Yeah.
because he's trying to find out what she looks like he has a specific type, he has a
Mhm.
very set
Mhm.
type, and this is gonna be
Mhm.
hard for him probably?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
because I don't think we saw too many people trying to get the looks out of it, but again, could be edited, but he seemed to be
Yeah.
very focused on it, so and
Yeah.
he's the one that's the former pro soccer player, so we saw this on the Italy version where that person was very it was really hard for them to not focus just on looks because that's just how they're used to living, so they get a lot of girls
Yeah.
already, so,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and we've seen,
um,
a similar Mike and Emma on Love Is Blind Germany with Gunther and, Josie.
yeah.
So, it's like we're seeing some of those, stories come, full circle to the
Yeah.
USA version if you guys don't watch those foreign ones, but,
Mm. Emma called Mike buddy, that was not a good sign.
yeah, I thought for sure it was over from there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. Episode 1, we're back at Steven and Emma. He's talking about he wants to be a Hanes underwear model. Then he says it's a joke, and it's not a joke because it's definitely
Mhm.
on his Instagram bio. I don't know if that's like him trying to be funny.
Mhm.
Um it's just and then it's I don't know, then they have this, like, weird conversation about, like, wanting to get deep and, like, "You wanna know what makes me tick," and I'm like, "Apparently the answer no, allegedly, ma is what makes you tick." But it's
Mhm.
just I don't know just because we know what we know going in about Steven, everything was, like, flagging to me, right? When he's like, "I can spill
Mhm.
tea about myself, like, deepest, darkest secrets," and I'm like, "Tell us what are you okay with telling me what you're hiding?" It's like, "Are you? Like, are you?"
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, all of the language was very triggering, and I don't know if you noticed in the lounge, he appears to be a short king because Alex and him
Oh.
had a conversation in the lounge, and Alex was very tall, and he
Ah, I
looked
didn't notice.
either Alex is a tall king and
Mm.
Steven's just very average, or he's a short king because Alex was,
Yeah.
like, towering over him. I was like, "Oh my god, he's at his shoulder."
Mhm.
Just a little
Was this
observation.
the was this the conversation with Emma that got real creepy, like, or was this a different conversation?
I feel like yeah, no, I feel like this is the one that, like got like, we
Very
seen a
odd.
little bit of it, and then we went back to Victor and Christine, and then we went back to
Mm,
Steven and Emma, then it got really, really weird, and then it
yeah,
ended with Victor and Christine's engagement. So
right.
so,
Yeah, because that
yeah.
conversation. I mean, I wish I could see it not knowing what we know about Steven. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to Ricky's page. She has a whole video on a lot of allegations that came out about Steven. We just shared those women's stories. But even not knowing what we know, I feel like this whole conversation was red flags. Like he was
Mhm,
like
mhm.
pressuring Emma to open up. Then she finally did, and he didn't know how to like receive that. He didn't know how to talk to her. It was not a safe space whatsoever. The interrupting, like, who's finishing all of her sentences and
Oh my god! Just like I did right now. So you see?
yeah,
You see what I just did there? Yeah, but I wrote the same thing.
yeah, yeah, it was, like, not in a cute way, like, finishing sentences, like, when you're friends, you have, like, a good vibe going on, it works, but she's, like, literally trying to open up about a personal story that he knows nothing about. They're not talking about, like, the same topic, and he's, like, trying to finish her sentences, and then at one point, he was like, "Hurry up, did you see that?" I put it in my clip, and, like, pouring the drinks while she's talking, and then just the language that he used. I feel like this is not a weird conversation in this environment, like asking about first kisses and virginity, but it was just the way he was doing it, and he seemed very interested in what age she was, and the way he said Rachel McAdams couldn't deny him.
Yeah,
Uh,
girl, I wrote all this down. Literally,
yeah.
we have the same mind because I was like, the fact that getting deep to him was talking about your first kiss and your virginity.
Mhm.
That is your idea of getting deep, not her
Mhm.
crying, telling you about being adopted, not her crying, telling you that it's sensitive for her because no one wanted her in high school, not about,
Mhm.
the scars that she has on her body, but
Mhm.
you thought that getting deep was a first kiss and virginity. And that's what I said. He's cutting her off. He's not letting her speak. He's trying to finish her sentence. He's trying to like get her to hurry up and get a sentence out.
Mhm.
And then it's like when she notices it, you keep doing it. Like when she notices it and calls it out, you're like, I'm trying to get deep with you and ask about your virginity. So 1920, like, why was he so honing in on the specifics? It was so fucking weird. I wrote that down too.
It
One of the
was.
specifics, waiting when he said his virginity story, he made sure to
Mhm.
say, she said, thank you for waiting for me and not pressuring me. So with the
Mhm.
allegations about him, that just it's weird. Hearing him talk about sex is making me cringe. Rachel McAdams couldn't deny him. I wrote that down too.
Yeah, very
It's
odd
just very
language, like
odd language.
yeah, that you're thinking about sex and being denied in that way, just not how most people talk about, like, their first loves, and he was trying to, like I think he thought it was a romantic story, and it wasn't landing. He obviously it feels like a story he tells a lot, and the only reason you
Mhm.
would want someone to hurry up and finish what they're saying is because you wanna talk about yourself again, right? You're like, "You finish." He's not listening to understand or hear her, he's listening to come back with his own story, like, he couldn't wait to get that first kiss and virginity stories out, and they just painted him in a creepy light.
Very
Not
creepy
good at
light.
all.
He's like, "You want me to get you out of this funk?" No, she actually told you that she wanted to be vulnerable and get deep,
Yeah.
and she's getting deep and vulnerable, and you want to fucking talk about virginity. You want to get her out of this funk.
Yeah.
Like, no, actually, she wants you to say something supportive. She actually wants you to acknowledge what she just said. You completely bypassed it to talk about something completely irrelevant. Like,
Mhm. And for her to say, like, "I don't wanna talk about those people didn't want me in high school," like, it's just she gave him so many opportunities to dig deeper on these things that are hard for her, and he kept just making it creepy,
yeah.
and I'm surprised to see I haven't seen a lot, but just a few people on my video commented, like, she's insecure or negative at her at all because we see her have the same talk with was it Connor or Mike? One of them, and it went the way it
Both.
should go. It was so much better, and it was not creepy, and they gave her that safe space and reassurance and listening, and I don't know what's up with Steven. I mean, I think I do now.
I think we
I
do.
know too much.
He's weird. He's weird. He's weird. He's coming off very weird. He's coming off very creepy. He's coming off, and I don't know if you noticed, like he tried to slip in there after his virginity story. Then we woke up and had sex everywhere. Like he just wants to
Yeah.
talk about sex. He
Mhm.
couldn't wait for Emma to shut the fuck up so that he could ask a sexual question or try to get sexual. That is, and like you said, he doesn't care about getting deep. He doesn't care about what the fuck she's saying. He doesn't care. He just wants to talk about sex, and he's a fucking creep. So I'm
And I
glad
think
you could visibly see her being fucking turned off by him. Like you could see her shutting down. You could see her just being like, I never want to talk to this guy again.
and she's not even in the same room physically as him, and you could see how uncomfortable she was. She literally burst into tears when she left the room. That is how uncomfortable he could make her through a wall. So I can completely see now these allegations coming out. If this person was in your room, and no matter what they had decided to go there to do or agreed to do or however they ended up together, you can see his behavior when he's alone with someone could be very, especially for a young woman, very scary, very intimidating, very just he doesn't seem to get social cues or like care how the other person feels or what they want. Like he just I don't think he knows what boundaries are at all. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm, we shared our story about him or the other woman's story that are coming forward, and I've heard four more since. I've heard very similar ones since. Yeah, he's definitely a creepy guy. You could tell just something is off, like you said. Social cues are just not there. I aside from the allegations, and the women who had those kind of experiences, I've had other women, say that they've had interactions with him at bars that were just bizarre and off-putting. Like social cues, boundaries were not like really there. So, yeah, I think he's showing his character and it's just not good. It's coming off very
no.
creepy. So,
Yeah, I agree.
and I think episode 1 ends with this dramatic, uh,
Yeah.
ambulance and fire
Oh,
trucks
yeah.
and, you know,
Alyssa?
Alyssa has put nail glue in her eye, which we don't find out until coming into episode
Yeah.
2, but at the end of episode 1, they have paramedics outside the fire truck. Oh my god, we gotta rush you to the hospital.
Uh,
I think it's very obvious that this didn't really happen on camera and they tried to recreate a moment because it all seemed aloof.
yeah.
It all seemed
Yeah,
very
I was
bizarre.
telling yeah, I agree. I don't think that that happened in the pods. I think that happened they go to a hotel. If you didn't know, they don't stay at the pods, and so it makes a lot more sense that you'd be putting eye drops back at your hotel. She obviously mixed it up with nail glue or yeah, that's what it was, right? Nail glue,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, they had no footage of it. They had, like, one scene of her walking out of the lounge, but and they tried to, like, piece it all together, but I think if they had more footage, they would have showed us, but I think people don't get the ambulance called a lot on this show, so they definitely had to make it a moment, and I have seen there's articles about it, and I've seen a lot of people in the comments tagging each other like, "Oh, this you're not the only one." So apparently it happens a lot. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they made, like, such a big thing about it because it's like Love is Blind and, like, she could have went
yeah.
blind, like, I don't know, but you guys, when I tell you that, like, TMZ wrote an article about this, E! News wrote an article about this,
Mhm.
I'm like, "Is it a slow news day? Because why are we writing articles about a girl putting nail glue in her eye?" Okay?
Yeah.
I just know she eating it up because she a socialite, if you didn't know. Anywho, episode 2, that is
Call
how
back.
episode and that is how episode 2 starts, where she comes back and it's so dramatic. "Oh my god, we missed you. What happened?" And it's like, "Oh, I put
Mhm.
nail glue in my eye."
Yeah, you're right. It's probably because, love is blind and you tried to blind yourself. It's funny and, I guess you can
Dun-dun-dun.
yeah. I guess you can I would have thought your eyes a goner after that, but I guess they can fix that, so that's good to know. But
Thank
have you
God.
I don't have
No.
nail glue, my nails are a hot mess, but is that something they look similar to eye drops? Is that a thing?
I mean, I don't know. I guess they could. I mean, very rarely do I break a nail. If I
Mhm.
have to glue it on. I think the tubes look pretty different, but maybe if you don't have your contacts on, maybe that's why she was trying
Mhm.
to put eye drops in.
Now now
Maybe
that I
she mistake the bottle.
well, now that I'm Googling it, it says it's a common accident because they look the same. So I guess she isn't the only one, but
All right. All right. Well,
yeah.
cool. I thought it was a very dramatic ending. It was very lackluster. I thought that the next episode was gonna start with like her in the freaking emergency room, or so she just
Yeah.
trolleys back in like, oh, put a nail glue in my eye. Anyhow, then we get to see Victor and Christine's reveal.
Wait,
What
I
did you
see
think?
sorry, there's just a whole article in People magazine back in November of 2024 about a late like just some random person that put the nail glue in their eye. So maybe that's where they got this idea from. I don't know.
I
But,
don't know. I
like
don't know. It's such a big deal, or that people cared that much to write entire articles about it.
no, apparently there's been like viral TikToks about it. So yeah, it didn't seem like that big of a deal. But this is obviously, I think, a lot of these outlets only write what Netflix allows them to, and then this is probably like one of their pre-approved. You can spill this tea. So
Oh, we spilled it last week. Okay, we told you guys someone glues their eyes shut. We told you that. My God, we already
yeah,
told you.
you guys have been knowing this. So, anyways, off the eye, that was Alyssa's big moment. So,
That was, yep, that's it. That's all. Anywho, Victor and Christine reveal comes up,
mhm.
and what'd you think of the reveal?
I thought it was amazing. They both seemed really happy with what they saw. I feel like they had such a good connection already that I don't know, like, if they could have been unhappy with each other, if they're both good looking people. But I was going to say before, I don't know that I would feel comfortable having like a hot man that's a professor. 'Cause you know, all those students are
Girl,
thirsting.
tell me about it. Tell me about it. Okay.
What, you date a hot professor?
No, but I definitely had
Oh, right,
okay,
right, right.
I
Right on.
had a crush on a professor. I told you my little professor story before, but
Mm.
also I d you know, also a professor at a law
Mm.
school. You
Ah, okay. So you have dealt with this situation before,
Yeah.
because
And, yes, yeah, in a way. Yeah.
I just remember on Real Housewives of New York back in the day, Dorinda's husband, she's a widow, but he was a professor. He was an older gentleman, like attractive to Dorinda, but not someone you'd be like, oh, that's a hot man. And she said it was bad, like the girlie showing up at the office hours and always trying to like, just very, like I think the intelligence, right, is the turn on and all that, so,
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
lot of
hotness and
yeah, Victor's hot regardless, right?
mhm,
Like he's just tall and hot and fine. You could tell he works out. So I know it's OD. Me, when I had a little crushy crush on my professor, he was not hot. Okay. He was
yeah.
actually a fucking dorky looking thing, but there was something about like the authority, and he's so smart and he's so this.
Mhm.
So
He's in
I
control of the
see.
grade.
Yeah, bitch got an A. Don't just say. But it's also like in you know the situation. You like he's already like I don't know that everybody would find him conventionally attractive, but again,
Mm,
he's smart, he's tall, so then an element of attraction starts to form, and then you just
mhm,
see spending so much time with them every week, and and it's a recipe for disaster, and we all know
yeah.
men ain't shit. They ain't about
Mhm.
motherfucking shit. So if it's like you're just putting a platter in front of them that they either can or cannot deny.
Yeah.
You see what happened with Ross in Friends.
Exactly, and yeah, this is only applicable to college professors, by the way. Anything
Yes.
lower
Yes. Let's be
anything
clear.
lower than that, illegal, wrong, gross. But if your man is a college professor and he's hot, let us know how it is because I feel like it would be hard not to be a little concerned. And for the record, we have only heard good tea on Victor.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
apparently as amazing as he is on the show.
Coming off. Yeah.
It's early though. but
It is
I
early.
can't imagine. He seems amazing, genuine,
Yeah, he does
great,
seem genuine. We haven't heard any bad things about him. He's probably
nothing.
one of the only men that we haven't heard bad things about. We've heard a little tidbit about every single one of these motherfuckers, at
Yeah.
least a little smidge of something. Victor's probably the only one, and then people who
Mhm.
do know him in real life have said amazing things about him. I do think it's so funny that when they showed a flashback of him and Christine's date, she was definitely trying to fish for if he's ever dated a white woman before.
Yeah, yeah,
I think, you could just tell from his voice that
yeah.
that he's black. And
Mhm.
she's like, "What kind of women have you dated?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh,
she's like, "Not all one type, right? Like,
no,
it's different type."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like you date white girls or not, and he wanted to know the same.
I feel like her name being Christine Louise is a giveaway. She's Louise is not a
Yeah,
no, not a good
yeah,
name.
I think you're right. And she said she's dated all races too, so it's
Yeah,
good. You never want to be someone's first person of color. It's a very interesting space to be in. It's a very
yeah,
interesting space to navigate. So I'm glad that they got that settled, and they seemed really happy at the reveal. They were like staring into each other's fucking souls. I was like, I
yeah,
feel like I shouldn't be here. Like I feel like
yeah,
I'm
and
interrupting something.
they didn't wanna, like, let each other go, which is such a nice change from last season when I think they didn't even look back. They just went for their champagne and were, like, just left their people standing there. So I have a good feeling about these 2,
Mm,
but we've
same.
been wrong before, but
Yeah, same.
I think we can get our hopes up a little. They seem great. So,
Yeah, yeah.
who else did we see? Oh, did you find it odd that, Amber had a boyfriend for 3 years that she didn't introduce her child to? Like,
That's a long time.
that's a long time.
That's a long time. Obviously she didn't feel safe and she didn't feel
Mhm.
but again, why are you in a relationship with somebody for 3 years that you don't feel safe enough to bring around your daughter? That's probably an indicator that you should leave. But Amber's very odd. She seems very, very odd to me. Like
Mm.
I don't know what it is. It's just something's off, like, she seems odd, like, she keeps like, "I'm funny, and I'm this," and I'm like, "I don't actually think so," like, I think that there's, like I don't know, because it's like she hasn't done anything
Yeah.
yet, but it's just certain nuances and
She's
certain things she
quirky.
says that it's, like, quirky, right? And then, like, annoying, and it's,
Mhm.
like, teetering towards the annoying. I don't know why she's annoying me. I don't
Yeah.
know why she's
I'm
annoying me.
a little worried. Obviously, it ended off on it's about to be their reveal, but they haven't seen each other yet, right?
Yeah.
Amber and Jordan. Oh, I thought it was odd that she said she was judged. She was talking about high school, and she's like, I had a child out of wedlock, which the way she described it, it kind of sounds like she had a child like in high school, but she's 39, right? And her child's 7. So, like, I didn't think
Uh,
people judge
she's
for having.
34.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Walk it back. Walk it back. There's 2 39-year-old ladies though, isn't there?
She's not one of them.
My bad.
I see why you think that,
Jessica.
but
No,
yeah.
Jessica and
And
who's
then it
the
was
other?
another lady that wasn't shown at all. We haven't
Oh, okay.
she's one that's
Sorry,
not
I got
shown, yeah.
confused. I thought she
Mhm.
was 39, so I'm like, who's judging people for having babies at 33 out of wedlock? Like, who cares? But I guess if she was early 20s, mid 20s, it's you're still kind of in that influence of parents or high school or whatever it was. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, some of the stuff she says is a little concerning. Like, I'm shitty with money, and I
I
think,
they just both laughed about that like it's not a massive concern. Like, "You can be shitty with money, nurse practitioner. You cannot have not found my
yeah,
career professionally. I'm struggling to find my path. You
yeah,
can't, Mr. No Job. You gonna get a paycheck.
yeah.
This one you're not." So, I don't know what was funny about it.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned that maybe they're not the best match, but I don't know, like, compare, like, I don't know if he's gonna find her super hot, but if he does, then that might wipe away all the flags. So we don't really see that a lot. Usually we see a lot of people being like, oh, that's not my normal type, but I'll try to make it work. But she might be like more attractive than people he dates, so he might be, like, willing to ignore some flags to stick with her, but
Uh,
maybe he has some flags too, like this
I
job,
mean,
I don't know.
he had he has some flags, okay? He has a lot of
Yeah.
flags. He kind of laid out his flags. What do you think about her saying, "As long as you're not a 60-year-old man that's fat and nasty"?
Yeah, that wasn't great because I feel like her whole MO up to this point was, "I don't care what you look like, looks don't matter to me. I'm just open to the person," and then she throws in a 60-year-old fat nasty. That kind of gives, like, you do care about appearance. I mean, 60 is understandable that you wouldn't wanna be with a 60-year-old, but just the way she just casually threw fat in there was like
Right. She said fat and then she mixed it with nasty. And
yeah.
then you tried to put 60 in there to like soften it because you know that nobody on the show is 60. So you know he's
Mhm.
not 60. So
Yeah.
I was like, you just tried to slip fat nasty in there. And then there was
Yeah.
like an awkward silence right after before the conversation continued because I mean,
Mhm.
it's just I don't know, but again, like we said, we haven't got to see their reveal to see how they're gonna
Mm.
feel, about each other, but I think there's definitely some flags going on with the both of them, but can we please talk
Yeah.
about the Emma of it all, because I do see
Mm.
online. I've been trying to stay offline so it doesn't before I watch episodes 3 and 4, because I don't want any spoilers, but we see Emma share with Mike and then with Connor her story. Now, here's the thing that I will say about the editing. We do not need to hear the same story 3 times. I remember they
No.
did this with B Dot on her
Mhm.
season. They had her telling her connections over and over and over. There's a way to edit it where she's telling the story one time and then you show us each of their reactions to that same story. I felt like it was overkill, but clearly they are production is trying to
Yeah.
make this a moment. They're trying to make this a thing. They really want
Mhm.
to drill it into the audience that she is being vulnerable
Yeah.
about this, you know?
Yeah, and I think they wanna show us the different reactions to it, but I do think, like, 2 might have been good and not all 3 because I think Steven's reaction was bad, and then they could have just showed us, like, Mike's reaction, but, yeah, I think they're obviously centering a lot around Emma, she's a big part of the first couple episodes, so
Yeah.
but, yeah, it's hard as an audience to hear the same thing
It is. It is.
over and over.
And it's almost like I do think that she does have a lot of trauma around that,
Mm.
you know, rightfully so. I do think she has a lot of insecurity around that, rightfully so. Um
Mhm.
and so maybe therapy,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
I do like that Mike was supportive in his answer and he tried to offer up his own story.
Mhm.
However, being premature is not really the same fucking thing, bro. I'm sorry. It's just not. I was
No.
premature too, okay? I almost
Yeah.
died, okay? Born in 7 months, okay? 2 pounds, 9 ounces,
What?
okay? Yeah.
Teeny tiny.
Teeny tiny little thing. My mom used to say I could fit in the palm of her hand. So,
Aw.
I mean, not really the same thing, but
Maybe they're supposed to each share, like, a trauma story or something, because yeah, he was trying to relate, but it wasn't relatable, but
landing, yeah.
it's so sad though to see like, I totally understand why Emma has insecurities, but I also know when we did the cast reveal, we were like, "Wow, she's gorgeous," like, one of the most beautiful girls there, and I understand the arm thing, it bothers her and is a trauma for her, but I do think she has so much more to offer, and I just don't think I mean, like you said, therapy, obviously, maybe watching this back, she'll see that she doesn't have to make it such a big part of this because it
Yeah.
is Love is Blind, right? And that is the whole point of being there. And she kind of is talking about how she looks the whole time, but I guess you don't
Yeah.
want to. It's probably hard to go in not telling somebody and knowing the
But
reaction you could get.
she seemed really hell-bent on not really telling her looks, like, when she thought
Mm.
that I think she thought Steven was trying to pry to what she looked like, but I didn't think that he was, like, he actually was just asking if her siblings was a
Yeah.
adopted too, or if it was just her, and she took that
Hmm.
as, like, him trying to, like, see what she looked
Yeah.
like, and I don't think he was doing that. So
Hmm.
she has some identity issues, which
Yeah.
very much so, right? If you're adopted, I can imagine you having identity issues. And I think
Hmm.
she's so worried about her arm, and I think she said her leg too, like, it might have affected her leg too or different parts of her body, that she's, like you said, forgetting everything else that she has to offer. She wants to let them know, like, "Before you see me so that it's not
Mhm.
jarring, like, I have this scar, like, but I don't wanna give anything else about me away, but I need you to know
Mhm.
this because this might scare you off or whatever." And it's like, who gives a damn about your arm when you have a face like that? Like,
Yeah.
she's so freaking pretty. Like, but I do think, I do think, she's, I don't know, when you see somebody like so traumatized about something, it's hard to
Mhm.
watch it and say this person is healed from this. Like, I think it's very
Mhm.
clear that she's not, and it's
Mhm.
not your partner's job to heal you. You have to do that self work on your own. And I did watch it. Think I had similar feelings about Josie in the pause
Yeah.
on Love Is Blind Germany, to where I was like, okay, she need to go see the man, you know what I mean? Because it's not,
Mhm.
you're trauma dumping right now, and although I don't think she was trauma dumping on these guys, I think it's an important thing to know. Like, I'm
Mhm.
adopted. I don't know what I'm gonna pass down, so that's why I don't want kids. So it is all
Mhm.
relative, you know. But
Yeah,
you could tell by
definitely.
her response, like, as she shares it, how upset she is about it. It's like it's
Mhm.
something that weighs really heavy on her and is, like, reoccurring, I think, for her.
Yeah, and I think Steven did, like, when she sort of casually mentioned being adopted, but sort of like, "I don't wanna get into it right now," and he was like, "No, you should share that." I do think the whole not wanting to have kids should have been, like, sort of one of the first-ish things you tell someone because it is such a huge deal breaker,
Mhm.
whereas the stuff with her arm, I think that could have waited till you're getting down to more like, less people, right? Because
Right.
that's not as much of a deal breaker, especially on a show where it's not about look, so I think the kids thing needed to be sort of told right away, but then the rest of it could have waited. But I think it's all intertwined together for her. And I think we saw it with Christine too, where I don't think, and Josie on Germany, you don't know that something is affecting you so much till you sit in these pods and start talking about it. And I think a
Mm,
lot of them, it is like therapy, right? You
mhm,
think, I'm just going to quickly say the story. It doesn't bother me. And then you start laying it all out there and
mhm.
realize that you do have trauma. So I'm sure it's helpful for them to watch back or to live through it, but
Yeah, yeah.
hard time to realize that you need all this help with these traumas while you're trying to pick like a fiance. That's a lot at
Yeah,
once.
yeah,
So,
I would imagine, and then especially getting a shitty response or not getting a response
mhm.
you expected, or somebody just completely disregarding what the hell you had to say and then asking
Mhm.
about your virginity, that
Yeah.
would make it even harder. Like, she, picked Steven to open up to first, and he was probably the worst one to open up to. So,
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to weed out who's not really there, right? Because if you're actually gonna marry this person, you do wanna hear all this stuff, and if you're just there for fun, you wanna get into the virginity talk, so he outed himself, and I'm glad she just got out of that right away, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
should we get into the triangle that is Kevan and
Can we
Kia or
please? Because I damn thoughts.
Ah,
Okay, 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 okay. I don't even know, like, where to start. Okay, okay, here, I'll start here.
'kay.
What do you think about this whole I have a great job, but if you're my husband, I'll do whatever to make it work. Like, I'll basically switch up my entire life for my man. What do you think about that?
Uh, what is her job?
I don't know.
Oh,
But it's something good. She's got a good
I
job because
mean
she's said it several times.
yeah. It's hard because, I obviously, like, moved a town for my husband and gave up a lot, and then, we've been a good team in that way, but again, we started at 21, so it's different when you meet someone in your 30s, right? Because these
Mhm,
things are established, so
mhm.
I can't say, like, "Oh, I would never do that," because I would in the right situation. So I think if you're really going there serious about finding love, the jobs and stuff you can change that. So I didn't think it was that bad, but
Oh, okay. See,
you
I'm
didn't.
the type of bitch that's like, never give up anything for a man, because
Mhm.
that's just, I would never move for a man. I would never give up my career for a man. I would, like you said, maybe in your 20s when you guys are building together and you're trying to
Yeah.
establish a life. But in today's day and age, it's just gonna slap you in the face every single time. You see what happened the minute she started saying, "My man, my man, my man." She was running around that motherfucking lobby,
Mhm.
"My man, my man, my man." Look what happened.
Mhm.
They gonna make you look stupid every time.
Yeah.
Although I have my thoughts on Tyler, we will get there.
Yeah. Well,
She's like, "I'm getting engaged. I'm getting engaged.
yeah.
Kevin's my man. I'ma shout it from the
Mhm.
rooftop." She's going around that fucking women's lodge trying to poke and pry and ask and try and find out who he's dating without asking who he's dating. And it was embarrassing for her. Like, I
Yeah.
found it to be quite embarrassing. Now, he was supposed to go, he says, Tyler's my number one. I'm gonna go
Mhm.
in there. I'm gonna cut things off with Kia. And
Yeah.
to his surprise, he doesn't cut it off with her. He was honest-ish, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know. I think it was her saying, "Oh, people come in here and they make knee-jerk decisions." And he's like, "Oh, fuck, I
Mhm.
was about to make a knee-jerk decision." And then he changed his mind. And it's like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, how do you feel about it? Because it's like, he is not wrong, right? Like, we're 6
Mhm.
days in. Everybody has other options. You're supposed to explore your options up until the point where you feel like you can't
Mhm.
anymore. So if you're at the point where you don't feel like you're ready to cut shit off, don't feel like you have to.
Yeah, I didn't think he did anything wrong. Is that
Yeah.
bad? Like,
He
okay.
didn't. He
Okay,
literally
because I
didn't.
was, like, expecting to be annoyed with him over this love triangle when I first heard about it, and then watching it play out, I was like, "I don't think he did anything bad." So, because that's what they're supposed to do at this point, right? Maybe she
Yeah.
was feeling led on, but I feel like he was being as honest as he could be, right?
Yeah.
He was letting
I
her
agree.
know, like, yeah, so I didn't think it was that bad, and then when she left like that, I understand being, like, so sure about someone and you want that from them, but you if they don't have it, they don't have it, and that's your prerogative if you're like, "Well, I'm not gonna be waiting for you to be torn and to choose," and we do see that a lot on the show, but if you really do love them or think that's your person and you wanna get married to them, it might be worth just waiting it out, but you don't wanna be a second choice, I
Yeah,
guess.
nobody wants to be a second choice, and nobody wants to wait for a fucking man. Who wants to wait for a man? Men are so embarrassing. But
Mhm,
it's also like, this experiment is not real life. Like Kia said, if this was real life and you're telling me that you're dating somebody else and you're more interested in that person, I would tell your ass to get kick fucking rocks. But this is
mhm,
not a normal experiment. Like, this is an experiment. We're all dating
mhm,
multiple people. So he did tell Kia, I am interested, and so I have a strong connection with somebody else. But
mhm,
like, I came in here basically to break up with you, but shit, you're kind of telling me that I don't have to pick and choose right now at this moment. So yeah, I want to
mhm,
continue to get to talk to you. I feel like
yeah,
at day 6, you have at least 2 more days to just to make a
yeah,
decision. And it seemed like Kia was more open to him talking and still getting to know him, and Tyler wanted him to make a decision right in that
yeah,
moment, right? You wanted him to make a decision right in that moment. And again, that's not really how this experiment works. This experiment
no,
isn't unapologetically choosing somebody. Everybody has another connection. I know, I would be very curious to see if Victor and Christine or Amber and Jordan had other connections. I'm sure they did.
yeah,
Um and that's just what makes this so different, because it's not real life. Like, Kia would have never stood around and be like, "Yeah, go date this other hoe while you
yeah.
date me in the real world." But that's just not how it works. Like, Tyler was like, "Somebody could be my man's side chick." Like, you guys
Yeah.
haven't established anything yet. So you're actually really making yourself look very possessive, actually.
Yeah, and, like, I do know at that one point where he was like, he was sure it was Tyler, she was his number 1, and, yeah, maybe in an ideal world, he would've cut everything else off and just been like, "That's my person," and that would is what she was looking for, but that's not really what the experiment is about, and, yeah, I'm interested to know if the other engaged couples because we did hear last season, a lot of them had someone else there till, like, the last day, it's very common in this,
It's
so
very common. It's very common. I get that you want somebody to pick you, but you're not going to do it by marking your territory. You're going
Mhm.
around talking all loud so that Kia will hear you. You're asking everybody else who they're talking to, knowing damn well it's not Kevan, but
No.
you want Kia to come forward and say, "Oh, it's me. I'm talking to Kevan." It's like, girl, just go ask
Mhm.
her. Go ask her. Because if you would have went and talked to Kia, you actually would have found out that Kevan did tell her that you're his number one and that he
Yeah.
wants to continuously talk to her. Like, and then he was trying to be honest with you. He was not picking Kia, but he was trying to be honest with you and tell you, you were my number one. I was going to pick you. But when I was presented with the option of not being forced to choose in this moment, I decided to still see this girl and I had a good date with her. I
Yeah.
understand that that's not what you want to hear, but he's at least being honest with you. I think she overreacted by storming out that fucking pod and be like, oh, who
Yeah.
you're choosing is amazing. Yes, she is amazing. You know, you can't shit talk another woman on this show, but
Yeah.
it's like, you you overreacted. You overreacted.
Mm.
Like, he's like, I'm not even picking someone. I'm just trying to tell you how I'm feeling. Like,
Yeah, so did she leave then? Like, she cut it off completely, or do
it
we not
looks
see
like it.
that yet?
I don't think we've
Yeah.
seen it. I don't think we've seen the end result of that, but that's what it
Mhm.
appeared like she did. You know, I think she overreacted.
Mhm. Well, yeah, we're basing our opinion off of only episodes 1 and 2, so if he gets worse after this, then we'll change our opinion, but from what I saw, he's not doing anything that wrong. I feel like he's being transparent with both of them, and, it seems like she's just worried to lose him, but I would think if you're planning to actually marry this person, like, you're there for real, you would wanna make sure that they're sure. So you wouldn't want them to be not like, "Maybe I liked that girl, but I never got to find out." Like, let him actually find out and do the same. Maybe she was worried because there was no one else she liked. She had no other options. I don't
That's
know.
what it's giving. Like, she's
Yeah.
giving 100% that she's all in on
Mhm.
Kevan. But again, like you said, you never want you don't want to force someone to pick you. Let him talk. Like, there's no harm in him still. That's what the experiment is about. Talk to your ones, your twos, your threes. It's not at the stage where it's unheard of to have a one and a two. It's not like he still had 8 bitches lined up. Like, we've
Yeah.
seen that too. Like, where you're 6, 7 days in and you
Mhm.
still got like 4 or 5. Like,
Yeah.
he's just trying to tell you. He's just trying to be open with you so that you don't hear something in the women's lounge that he
Yeah.
didn't tell you. Then you really would have been, but one thing that tripped me out was that they had In and Out in Ohio. It's a West
No,
Coast thing.
no, the pods are in LA.
Oh, they're in LA. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I was like, why the fuck? How the fuck do
Yeah.
they have In and Out in
I've
Ohio?
n
Like,
I've never had In-N-Out. Is it so good?
it's not that good.
Oh,
It's
okay.
so over fucking rated, bitch. It's
Yeah.
just a fucking cheeseburger with Thousand Island dressing on it. That's it.
Ugh.
Okay. It's a fancy Big Mac, bitch. Like, it's
Okay.
not, I mean, it's good. Like, when you crave an In N Out burger, you
Uh-huh.
crave an In N Out burger. It does have a
Mhm.
specific taste.
Uh-huh.
Their beef tastes like it doesn't taste like a regular burger, but it's like, is it what people make it out to be like, oh my God, it's like my
No.
first stop when I come to LA? No, no, it's like Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, like, it's just an
Just
LA
fast
thing,
food.
like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's good, it's good. Oh,
Yeah.
will you be satisfied? Yes. Are you gonna be like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest burger I've ever had in my
Mhm.
life?"
No. Okay, I'm gonna try
Yeah.
it next time I come there. Cause yeah, they do the pods in LA, and then they
Okay,
go on their vacation, and then they go back to
okay,
Ohio.
that
That's
makes sense.
why I think some of these people are just coming on for the vacay. They get to go to LA, they get to go to Mexico, they get to have a good old time, so, I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what happens with Jordan and Amber's reveal,
Did
and
you
yeah,
wonder why she was standing in front of the glass posing like that? So that her
I
silhouette was all sexy?
I've seen it used on, like, a few articles and stuff, so she knew what she was doing.
She was literally like, oh
Yeah.
my god, and when Jordan proposed to her, I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but she had on the same dress that she wore on day 1, like, in her
Mm.
pictures and stuff, but in a different color.
Oh,
She had
okay.
on a purple, so she must really like that style of dress, and I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out why, because it was horrendous, but yeah, she likes it. So
Yeah.
she probably got it in a 2-pack, like, maybe it came on a special because I was like, "Oh, interesting choice." Because if I really like something, I buy it in multiple colors.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy multiple colors, but, to each her own. Not my pig, not
If
my
you know what
farm,
you
but
like get a bunch of them in different colors. I guess that's what she
yeah,
was doing.
that's what
So,
she did, that little sheer little mini dress with the split.
yeah.
Anywho, yeah, it ends on the doors opening, and we're gonna see
Mhm.
their reveal, so
Yeah. So, we'll be back with episodes 3 and 4 and obviously 5 and 6, and, yeah, any other thoughts before we go?
Meh.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't, so you don't miss all of our fun. We are doing our first live show tomorrow night, Reality Receipts After Dark, 7 p.m. PST on YouTube. So come chat all things Love is Blind with us, and we'll see you then. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.